Hi guys, Matt Thomas here at Cedar Rock Studio Guitar Gallery in Indiana, and today I've got a very, very special Bourgeois on my lap. This is a 2013 custom shop Bourgeois OM. Now, this is the first Bourgeois that I've seen featuring African Blackwood, but we'll get there. So the top on this is actually a Bearclaw Italian Spruce top. And look at that. It is just so freaking gorgeous. And right off the bat, you can tell that's interesting. It's actually got a real tortoiseshell pickguard. And the way that they polished it is just freaking gorgeous. Now, as we turn it around, just look at that. Good Lord. That is probably one of the straightest sets of African Blackwood I've ever seen. I mean, I don't see any swirls or big run out at all. Typically, they're pretty small pieces, so it looks like it gets flat sawn on the edges and stuff. Not this one. This is pretty unique. Now, it does have one of those kind of chevron marquee back strips with maple and darker maple, and then just little black hashes in between. But all the way around is also a micro maple purfling with koa binding. And it's got a little bit of flame through it, but I think it's a great choice to go along with this African Blackwood, and especially the color of this Italian Spruce top. Now, it is, I mean, very alive and open. And also, it does have hide glue for all the braces and attachment on it. Now, something I also saw that was quite unique is it's got a radial Macassar ebony rosette, which is just really cool looking next to the tortoiseshell and the flamed koa or micro flame. Now, it does have an ebony bridge, and it's 2 5/16, so it's a little wider. And it's really great for fingerstyle. But what's unique about it is it's only 1 3/4 here, which is kind of a Bourgeois thing. They make sure that the fretboard actually tapers outward to account for that extra string spread so you don't fall off the neck. But before we move on, I also noticed that it's got these lovely bone with abalone dot pins here. But they've created these gorgeous string pockets right in front that way so that it increases the break angle across the saddle. And you can tell from the tone. Now, it does have a ebony fretboard with koa binding all the way down the side, and they chose these really poppy white dots. So it's pretty darn easy to see where you're at, even though it is a flamed koa binding. Now, it's standard scale 25.5. So you can tune down, and it's dark and menacing, and it's got lots of headroom and power before farting out. Now the neck shape is also in my favor. A lot of the Bourgeois that I felt tend to have a bit of a V when you get in this region, from about 1 to 5. Not this one. This one's got a lovely C all the way through. And I've really liked the way the neck feels on this one. And as a result, they went ahead and took a little bit of meat off of this volute area too to round it. And it's really easy to get almost past the nut with and still grab onto it really firmly. Now, as you get into the headstock here, it's actually got a rosewood head cap that's bound with the koa and a very gold Bourgeois logo. It's not actually gold, but the material that they used for it has this gold shimmer that I had not seen before out of some of their other builds. And to match that, they also have these gold waverlies with Snakewood buttons. But enough about how freaking gorgeous and unique this thing looks. These harmonics don't go away. They just continue, and I'm guessing that's because of the African Blackwood and increased density of the box. But it's very, very dark, But the interesting thing is these trebles punch really hard, and they're nice and bright. So it really kind of hangs over the deep bass that it's got. So now it is a little heavier than your standard Bourgeois, but that's the African Blackwood for you. But it outweighs the benefit, or it doesn't outweigh the benefit. You really enjoy playing this monster as a result. Now, as you can tell, it's very alive and very sensitive. But after talking with Alan, and after taking photographs of this was one of the easiest African Blackwood sets to take pictures of. And that's because it's not your typical poly finish. It's actually a varnish finish all the way around, which actually helps it breathe a little more, and it almost sounds like this monster as a result. Now, if you've got any other further questions about this legendary Bourgeois, make sure that you message Alan at cedarrockstudio.com, and stick around, and thanks for listening.